Today marks the day of Azerbaijan Constitution. 19 years ago, Azerbaijan Parliament adopted Constitutional Act on State Independence. Today our guest is lawyer Fuad Agayev, who was one of the authors of the Constitutional Act. Welcome to our studio. Thank you. How do you remember those days? What events were taking place in and out of the Azerbaijan parliament? You know that in early 1991, the collapse of Soviet Union reached the final stage, and at that time, several partner countries, Azerbaijan was also one of partner countries of Soviet Union. So several partner countries, including Azerbaijan, adopted statements, declarations on restoration of independence. Azerbaijan also adopted such a statement on August 30, 1991. However, given the state status, the Azerbaijan's situation was unclear. There was no guarantee that Azerbaijan will not face any tragedies, any attacks by Russia similar to 1990 January, or Azerbaijan will have to declare self-determination. And a statement was not enough for it. Another problem was that the Soviet Union referendum held in March distorted the will of Azerbaijani people by then Central Election Commission, as if Azerbaijan said yes to staying in the composition of Soviet Union with a great majority. With a view to remove this undetermined situation, a constitutional act was required. It could also be named a constitutional bill. The main point was that the implementation of obligatory laws, the implementation of which is obligatory, to have been adopted. At that time, under the leadership of Shahin Aliyev, a relevant draft law was prepared and submitted to the Supreme Council. And we prepared together with Etbar Ahmedov a relevant draft bill, and it was first published in the first edition of Millet newspaper about in October 15 or 16, 1991. Though we had officially submitted our draft bill, the bill cast in the Supreme Council wasn't much different from the first bill, and our bill was not taken into consideration at all. At that time, then parliamentarian Inglab Ahmedov rejected to it. He rejected and said that I have read this bill and this bill should have been taken into consideration, and why hasn't it been considered? And Supreme Council decided that in adoption of that Independence Act postponed for a day, and in the evening the working group should gather again with my participation and prepare a shared text based on two bills. But the discussion of Act started in December 19 and then postponed. What was the reason at that time? There were different trends in the Supreme Council at that time. There were contradictions, disputes. It can be related to it, and there will be some reasons that I was not aware of, because I was not a member of Supreme Council. Though I attended closely, I wasn't a direct participant of those discussions. What were the main clauses in the Constitutional Act? I want to say that the discussion of working group on October 17, the head of the work group was Hajibullah. Then Niyazi Safarov attended, Shahin Aliyev attended, several other members of working group attended the discussions. Also Murtaza Ashkarov participated sometimes. During the discussions, I objected to the concept of the previous bill, because both given the glossary terminology of the consolidation of Azerbaijan state independence, that bill was weak. Our bill was much stronger than that. I can prove it. There were also terminological mistakes in that bill, but our bill mainly focused on regulation of Azerbaijan's gaining independence from Soviet Union. Did this constitutional act separate Azerbaijan from Soviet Union, given both their ideological point of view? I suppose the communist ideology was not strong in Azerbaijan, even in the Soviet period. That ideology didn't prove successful even in 80s or 90s. But as to Bolshevik methods, Azerbaijan has not been or has not get rid of these methods yet. The Constitutional Act notes that Azerbaijan Republic is a legal heir to the Azerbaijan People's Republic established in 1918. Today, the founders of Azerbaijan People's Republic, how are they commemorated now in Azerbaijan? What's their place in Azerbaijan's present ideology? Though it's not a legal question, I can answer these questions. I think this process doesn't receive enough attention. I think removal of Mehmet Emir Asuzade's name from Baku State University and also names of other political figures of the same period is inadmissible, I think, and this case should have been removed, and I think it will be removed, but I don't know why. Thank you for coming to our studio. Today our guest was lawyer Fuad Agayev, one of the authors of Constitutional Act on State Independence.